We're ready to start our ribbing bind off. We can just get rid of this marker. We won't need that anymore. And for those of you who've never done a ribbing bind off, you just follow the ribbing stitches. You knit the first stitch, you knit the second stitch, you pass the first stitch over the second, and you're now up to the purl stitches. So you're going to purl and pass that stitch over the front off. Purl the next stitch and again pass that stitch over the front. Switch back to knitting. Knit, pass the stitch over, knit, pass the stitch over, purl, pass the stitch over, purl, pass the stitch over, knit, pass the stitch over, knit, pass the stitch over. Now you can see that it's bound off very loosely, and that's what you need for when you're binding off something that's at the neck. Could be a hat. Any bind off ribbing should be done in this way. If you're using a circular needle, get the stitches back onto the front and take that last stitch and make sure that it's accessible. Push it to the front. Ready to knit. And you just keep doing this until you're on the last stitch. We're at our last 4 stitches, so we're purling these two, passing the stitch over, and we're going to knit the last 2, pass the stitch over, the last stitch, pass the stitch over, and you have 1 stitch only left on your needle. You're going to cut the thread and then you just pull it through like that, and you're finished, and you have a nice stretchy salvage edge. Then you take your crochet hook, you pull your markers out, don't need those anymore, and you're just going to close this up by taking the crochet hook, pulling the thread through to close it, that little gap, knot it, put it through again, weave it in a few times, I like it when there's ribbing. It's real easy to weave a thread in to that. And then go back up, take your scissors again, cut that off, look inside, you've got a thread sticking out from the tail that's already knitted in and woven in. Cut that off and you're finished. So there you have it, a fingerless glove. Of course this one's a little bit too big for me, it's for a man, but it's really good for anything that you need your fingers for. You can play the piano, you can press down the shutter of a camera, you can play the violin, anything you need your fingers for, but you want to keep your wrist and your hand warm. So hope you enjoy making these gloves.